Let me know if it
1 second.
works. Okay.
Share screen. There we go. All right, yeah, I got it there. Can you guys see?
Yep.
Yep. Okay. Hi.
Hello.
Hello.
Hey, so you're teacher Elena, and then 4 students. Is that what I'm saying?
Uh, yeah, currently one is still online. 1010 is online. We also have Focus here, Daniel, Note, and Navi.
Oh, Chucky.
Okay, awesome.
Chucky's so in our class we have two divided by two. Group A and group B. Chucky's in group A, we're all.
Okay, and you guys are working on a project about sustainability, right?
Yep.
Yes. Okay, great. So I'm going to give a little short presentation about what I do, and then afterwards, then if you guys have any questions, I'm happy to answer. All right,
Sure.
should we get started?
Yes,
Yep.
thank you.
All right. Okay, so today we're going to talk about how we can reduce waste and what we throw into trash and landfills. So my name is Anne. I'm a sustainability advocate. I always like using stuff that's not necessarily new. Like, for example, when I buy clothing, I'm really happy to buy secondhand clothing because I feel like that's the way that we can reduce waste from just, creating new clothes. Or if I want to get new stuff for my house, then I'm happy to buy from other people, secondhand or pre-love. Okay? You guys are interested in technology. So I used to work a lot in the startup industry. I was a journalist and I wrote a lot about different startups and ways that people use technology. So I have a little bit of a tech background. And something that I don't like is throwing stuff away, like into the trash, because you don't know where it's going. Is it going to end up in a landfill? Is the landfill bigger? All right.
Mm-hmm.
So there's a little quote that I really like from an American woman who's a sustainability advocate. Her name is Annie Leonard. And she said, there's no such thing as a waste. When we throw away anything, it has to go somewhere. Okay? And that's kind of the mantra for our group. So today we're going to talk a little bit about my group's story, the actions we can take, how we can impact our community more, and then also some solutions for technical waste. Okay. So, my group is called the Bangkok Recycling Chain, okay? And the fun thing is, it all started really simply with a pile of paper bags. So I had a stack of paper bags in my home. Do you guys have any paper bags in your houses?
Yes. At least one.
Right. Okay, well, there you go. Well, this was during the early COVID times when we were doing a lot of food delivery because we didn't want to go out. And we had these stacks of paper bags from all the food delivery. And I was like, I don't want to throw them in the trash. They're so clean and they can still be used. So I decided to post the clean paper bags and containers for giveaway in a big group called Bangkok Expat. So it's a group with a lot of English-speaking people in Bangkok, with like almost 100,000 people. And then I just had this stack of bags, right? Nearly 20 people texted me saying, can I have those bags? So it started me thinking about how I could match people who have paper bags to give away with other people who could reuse the bags. Because a lot of my friends had paper bags to give away too. That was how the Bangkok Recycling Chain started, okay? We are a group we're a group of almost over 4,500 members now. So in just a little bit over a year, over 4,500 people joined my group, and now every day people are giving things away from their homes for other people to reuse, not just paper bags.
Oh, that's amazing.
So the group grew really fast. I invited my friends, I invited my family, I asked them to tell their friends about it. And maybe because it was COVID time, everyone was at home, they had more time on their hands, more time to think about, cleaning out their houses, people joined really fast. Okay, so Here's where technology came into play, all right? When so many people started texting me asking me about the paper bags, I was like, what if I started a group so that we could all share our paper bags? What if we started a recycling chain? That's the story of our name. If we all joined hands, then more bags would be reused. All right? And then I thought, what if we found ways to reuse other items too around our homes, like glass bottles, big cartons, plastic bags, anything at all, instead of throwing it in the trash, anything that was clean that could be reused. So technology helped us scale. Facebook, making a group on Facebook helped me connect lots of people who had items to give away with people who needed the item. Okay? So soon after that, we started to get coverage from media. So a blog called Group the Future wrote an article about us, and they said, "Is this Thailand's ultimate circular economy Facebook group?" So that helped us to get more publicity, more people joined the group. Now, thousands of paper bags and other items have been reused and donated in our group since the year that we started.
Wow,
And
that's
every
amazing.
single day, we're posting things for giveaway. So this is how technology helped me scale. So just one person, me, I could only do a little bit. But when I was able to get so many other people to join and do the same thing using a Facebook group, I could multiply the impact that I created by thousands. So now a lot of other people are doing the same thing. Okay? So what do we do in Bangkok Recycling Chain? We choose to reuse. So we post paper bags, we post cardboard boxes because in the expat community or international community, a lot of people are moving around and they have to, sometimes they move to Bangkok so they have boxes to give away. Other people are moving away, so they have boxes that they need. So we're treating things like that. People can also give things away. So, for example, if you have something in your home that you're not using, like maybe it's a shirt that you don't need anymore, toys that you've outgrown, you can give them away to other kids so they can enjoy them, like other families. Or you can even trade or swap things. You can say, for example, I finished reading this book. I'd like to swap it for something else, like another book or maybe a plant for my home. And then we also share information about how to reduce waste. All right? Okay, so let me pause here. Do you guys have any questions for me?
Oh, wow. At first, thank you so much. This information is so useful. Exactly what we were looking for about the action and suggestions. Thank you for telling us more how you started and the way of your company. And anything else that you would like to ask about? Focus, Daniel?
The question that I have is how can the recycling change and help us in a lifestyle, in improving as a lifestyle.
Okay, sure. So, the reason that I started the group, let me just go back to my presentation a little bit, is that right before I started my group, there wasn't a really great way for people to connect. For example, if you maybe you have things that typically you would throw away, like paper bags, maybe egg cartons, glass bottles from drink plastic bottles, and then you don't want to throw them in the trash, but it's not easy for you to find out who needs them. So what happened is that with Bangkok Recycling Chain, we built a community of over 4,000 people who are all interested in the same thing, which is that they want to reduce and reuse. So in our group, we have a lot of people who are able to reuse these things. For example, local businesses who are interested to reuse the paper bags because they don't want to use plastic bags and create more waste, and they're willing to use clean paper bags that people have lying around their homes. So I actually have a lot of members of my group who are owners of local businesses, and they go around collecting paper bags from members in the group and then reusing them. So in that way, they're reducing waste that they generate. And then we also have, for example, when people need to move and they move to Bangkok, for example, they have a bunch of cardboard boxes. They can give those boxes away for people to reuse. So you can can post something for giveaway, like even toilet paper rolls. Because a lot of people in our group are teachers. For example, maybe they teach kindergarten, they need to do activities with kids. They're able to reuse even toilet paper rolls or yogurt cups for art supplies in your schools. Instead of going out and buying more supplies, they can just find supplies that are already existing and then use them.
Thank you. Any other questions?
มีคำถามไหมน็อตนาวี
Okay, all the students telling no. I also have a question. So if we can we join the group also?
Definitely. I put my contact information at the end.
Uh-huh.
So what I'm going to do now is you guys have some questions about how you can make a bigger difference, how you can motivate your community.
Mhm.
I'm going to answer a few of those questions now, okay? So in Bangkok Recycling Chain, another thing that we do is we help to translate a lot of information from Thai into English. Because actually there's a lot of ways to recycle in Thailand, but a lot of the problem is that a lot of that information is in Thai and not English. And so a lot of foreigners can't understand about that information. So what we've done is, we tried to collect a lot of information because there's so many different companies that are recycling and making use of different items that we throw away every day and putting them to good use. So let me show you. All right? This, I will send this to you guys later so you can see it. But basically, almost everything that's not like food waste, you can actually find a way to recycle it. Like there's a company called Trash Lucky. They will recycle all different kinds of plastic bottles, milk jugs, food containers, steel and aluminum cans, metal scraps, glass bottles, paper, cardboard, like those things can be sent to this company called Trash Lucky. While stretchy plastics actually can be sent to a company called One. One has drop-off points around Bangkok for stretchy plastics. Other types of plastics can be sent to Surplast. There's a company called Environplast that recycles foam. And then Green Road, I'll tell you about them in just a little bit. N15 is a company that takes everything else that no other company can recycle and then they burn it into fuel. So it's not the best solution because burning stuff into fuel creates more carbon monoxides in the air, so it creates more pollution, but it does prevent those trash that can't be recycled from ending up in the landfills. And then if you want to reduce your food waste, you can actually get things like compost kits, which are available from different companies around Bangkok. This one is called Pacdon. So they have these composting kits, so you can reduce food waste, create compost for your garden, and things like that. Now, to simplify it a little bit, I'm going to tell you about a few different projects that maybe you'd want to support as a class. So Green Roof Project actually takes UHT cartons and then they make them into roofs for people in need. So for example, most of us are drinking UHT milk, UHT juice, each day. So if, for example, you decided as a class to collect your UHT cartons, you could actually mail them to this project called Green Roof. And they would turn it into roofing for people in need. There's also another project called the Green Road Project. So this one is really fun. They take snack bags, okay? So snack bags are really difficult to recycle because they contain plastic and aluminum. So if you've ever had a bag of chips, the ones that make a loud noise, crunchy noise, and they have different layers, right? This makes it challenging for a lot of companies to recycle because it's very hard for them to separate out the plastic and aluminum. But the Green Road Project takes these bags and then they compress them into pavement blocks, like cool different shapes, like these are shaped like cats. They've made lots of different things like seating and furniture, but these are pavement blocks for roads in places that need roads. And they do it from the snack bags that we have. It can be cat food bags, pet food bags, any of those bags that have different layers of plastic and aluminum in them. And then Trash Lucky. So I heard that you guys currently have a recycling box for paper at your school, but if you wanted to take it one step further, you could contact this company called Trash Lucky and ask them to come and set up a recycling bin at your school. So they're happy to work with different schools to set up a recycling program, and they'll even come and do workshops with you and explain to you, how you can recycle better. And they give you a recycling station. And let me just go back here. Their recycling station can take all these items right here on this first slide, as well as they just started taking stretchy plastic too. So that means that you could recycle your plastic bags with them as well. So all this stuff right here and here, they could take. Okay? So they work with schools, they work with condominiums to set up recycling stations and do workshops to educate. And you guys also asked about e-waste. So that's things like, batteries, laptops, like old mobile phone chargers that don't work anymore. So AIS, phone provider, and most of their AIS shops, they have drop-off points for e-waste around Thailand. So you could actually just take your e-waste, like, power banks that don't work anymore, earbuds that don't work anymore. You can bundle it all up, and then you could put it into these boxes at their shops, okay? And then also the Thai Post Office actually has a program as well that if you put your e-waste into a box, like you see in this picture, and then you just write on it that it's e-waste. E-waste, please discard for us. Then the post office will take care of it for you. So these are two different programs where if you started collecting your e-waste, eventually you could, as a class, just take it to one of your AIS shops or take it to a Thai post office, and they would dispose of it properly in such a way that it doesn't go into the landfills. Okay? Yeah, so those are some of the solutions I wanted to tell you guys about. And if you have any other questions, I'm really happy for you to contact me. I can provide you with more websites and contact information for any of those companies that I mentioned if you wanted to set something up as a class. Do you guys have any questions right now?
I have one more question. When you said the post office disposes them properly and not in a landfill, what do you mean by properly?
Yeah, okay. So basically, in Thailand right now, what we have is called, we have an informal recycling system. All right, so if you notice, you have people who drive around in carts and they'll go by different homes and they'll purchase different items, right? From you, they might purchase paper, they might purchase plastic bottles or glass bottles, and they might purchase old electronic devices too. So usually the reason they're giving you money for it is because they can actually go to other local recycling centers and then they can sell those things to recycling centers for a little bit more cash. All right. But the thing is that it's a very informal system. So that means that there's no real systematized solution for waste in Thailand at the moment. It's a lot of different people doing different things here and there. So let's say, you give some of your stuff to the local recycling people, they'll do a good job with it. They will go and they'll send it to the proper place. And those places will take apart, the electronics. They will salvage any parts that could still be used, and they will try to reuse those things. And then they'll also remove any hazardous or toxic waste, and then dispose of it properly to different, plants that can destroy those items in a way that don't damage the environment. But if, for example, we just throw it away in the trash, who knows? Maybe a local recycler finds it and takes it, and maybe they don't. But by giving it to a place like AIS or the Thailand Post Office versus just throwing it in the trash, these AIS and the Thailand Post Office have agreements with the different recycling plants that have the tools to properly recycle and reuse the parts for these different products. So instead of it just ending up in landfills, which the waste that ends up in landfills in Thailand often just ends up buried in the ground in other provinces. Like, they the government buys land and then they dig holes and then they bury the waste in the ground so as not to make the landfills bigger. Or maybe some of it goes into landfills, but that means that it doesn't get reused, it doesn't get properly recycled. So by working with a program like this one, you can ensure that your e-waste is actually being recycled as much as possible and in a safe way that's better for the environment.
Right? Yeah, that's the answer. Thank you. Yes, thank you so much. And that's a lot of new information to me, also, especially because I'm an expert here and I didn't know about so many solutions before. So, thanks a lot for such a wonderful presentation and for sharing a whole lot of information with us. We definitely will join the group and we'll tell the others more about you, your company, and also the journey that we can take to become more mindful about the waste.
Thank you, Elena. So I put my contact information here and I sent you my presentation. So if you guys need to, click on any of the links, you'll be able to find them in my presentation. So the link to join the group is right here.
Mm-hmm.
And then there's a link to our blog too, where you can find more information about some of the companies that I talked about. And if you guys, as a class, like for example, maybe you collect paper bags or you collect like other items that can be reused, you can just take pictures of them and post them in the group. Or if you have other things that you want to donate or give away, just take pictures, post in the group, say, that we'd like to give it away, and then someone in the group can probably make use of it. All right?
Mm-hmm. Perfect.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you so much, Anna. Thank you. Definitely will contact you more. Thank you. Have a great day.
Thank you for listening. Thanks for inviting me. You guys have a great day ahead and good job with your efforts. I definitely want to support what you're doing.
Yeah, thank you.
Okay, bye.
Goodbye.
Goodbye.
Have a great day.
Bye.
Want to leave?
Yeah, you can leave there. Okay, Tenten, if you still want to go to the class, you can do so.
Okay, I'm gonna go to